So this woman, she really wants her husband dead. Now her name's Dahlia, and she's been married to this guy, Mike, for about 6 months. But for some reason, one day, she decides she doesn't really love Mike anymore. But she still really loves his money. Now Mike's not the richest guy in the world, but he does have a little bit saved. So Dahlia comes up with a plan to get Mike out of her life, but still keep his money. And this is when she starts working on Plan A. Get Mike thrown in prison. So then Dahlia starts calling police, giving them anonymous tips, and telling them to look into Mike because she says he's selling drugs. She even goes as far as to plant drugs in his car. Now Mike, see, he has a bit of a record from his past. He used to have problems with drugs and alcohol, plus he got busted committing fraud, and now he's on probation, but allegedly he lives a clean life now. So Dahlia keeps tipping police off, and police eventually look into him. They even pull Mike over one night and search through all his stuff, but none of this works. And Dahlia's like, damn it, and that's when she switches to Plan B. Hire a hitman to unalive Mike. So Dahlia goes and she meets up with an old hookup of hers. This guy, Mohammed. So she goes to him and she lies to him. She's like, my husband Mike is abusive. Do you know anyone who could unalive him? And Mohammed's like, no, I don't. But he also gets freaked out because he realizes she's serious. She's legitimately looking to hire a hitman. And if Mike ultimately does get assassinated, Mohammed knows he'll be in trouble for not reporting it. So he secretly goes and reports Dahlia to the police. Now police, they believe Mohammed and they want to bust Dahlia, but they need more proof than just Mohammed's word. So they put their heads together and they come up with a whole sting operation. And they get Mohammed to agree to help them. So then police go and they put hidden cameras in the back seat of Mohammed's car. And they mic him all up. And then he hits up Dahlia and he asks her to meet him in the parking lot of a local gas station. So they meet up and he's like, so it turns out I actually do know a hitman who can help you. So then Dahlia gives him a down payment of $1,200 and a picture of Mike to give to the hitman so that the hitman can get started. Then 2 days later, a cop goes undercover and he pretends to be the hitman. And he meets up with Dahlia in another parking lot. And of course, he's got hidden cameras all in his car. And she gets in and she starts talking to him about the plan.
Hey. We're staying in here, right?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
And of course, she has no idea that police are watching this and that she's just incriminated herself on camera. But here's her plan. One morning, she'll leave the condo where she and Mike live, and she'll go to the gym. That way, she'll have an alibi. During that time, the hitman, he'll show up to the condo, and he'll assassinate Mike. That's the plan, but that's not what happens. Instead, on the morning that Mike is supposed to be assassinated, Dahlia leaves and she goes to the gym. As soon as she leaves, police show up to Mike's condo and they fill him in on what's going on. Like, hey, FYI, your wife is trying to assassinate you. So they get Mike to leave, and in the condo, they set up a whole fake crime scene with fake blood and yellow tape, like the whole thing. Then, when Dahlia comes home, police tell her Mike is dead.
Listen, we had a report of a disturbance at your house and there were shots fired. Is your husband Michael? Okay, I'm sorry to tell you, ma'am, he's been killed.
So then they bring Dahlia in for questioning to see if she knows if Mike had any enemies or knows of anyone who might want to harm him. And of course she starts bullshitting and telling them about all these enemies Mike supposedly had and who she thinks may have done this. But once she starts lying, they're like, that's nonsense! And they confront her about the hidden camera footage of her in the car trying to hire the hitman. Basically, police are trying to trap her in a lie and then confront her with the video so that she has no other option but to confess to what she's done. Well, in fact, Dahlia doesn't confess. Even though she's literally on video committing the crime, she still denies she's done anything wrong. And they bring the fake hitman into the room and she denies she's ever met him. They even bring Mike into the room, like, look, he's not really dead. And Dahlia still denies everything. So police give up and they arrest her anyway. And they charge her with solicitation to commit first-degree murder. Here's her mugshot. So she ends up going through several different trials, but ultimately she's found guilty and she's sentenced to 16 years in prison. So, shout out to Florida.